Hello everybody, it's your boy Oscar here, back with another prediction video. Today we're going to predict the 25-26 football season, and I know this is a little irrelevant for my channel, but hey, who else? I had to make it because tomorrow the UPLA Pro League starts in Belgium, by the way, not in the Netherlands. The Netherlands starts a week later? No, not a week later, 2 weeks later. So let's start with Belgium. And who do I think is going to become champion? Well, it depends, because Union Saint-Gilles, if you remember them, they're pretty good this season, and so is Anderlecht. They did some pretty good stockings with their people, and I think, but in the end, I think the title will go to a Club Bruges. But I won't count out Racing Genk, because they are not too shabby either. And yeah, also, AZ is 1-0 behind against EOS. Wow. Okay. Moving onward to the Bundesliga, the German Pro League. Who do I think should become champions? It really depends, because it's gonna be really tough for Bayern to retain their title, to even defend their title, especially after they reached the quarterfinals of the Club World Cup against, but they got their butt served on a plate by PSG. However, I think this year, I think this will be a shock. I think, actually, it's not going to be Bayer Leverkusen that's going to be a high priority for me. I think Borussia Dortmund will get champion. So I think Borussia Dortmund will win the Bundesliga. It may be Bayern Munich, because also they got some good players. Not yet, but who knows? But I'm going to go with Dortmund on this one. For the Premier League, that's a tough one, actually, because the Premier League is full of world-class teams. I mean, like, literally, half of the top 5 could be title contenders. You got Liverpool, you got Arsenal, Man City, Chelsea, Newcastle. Heck, even freaking Tottenham Hotspur could be a title contender. So, Liverpool does have, like, got some good signings with Wirtz and Ekitike. And of course, with Frimpong and Kerkez. Arsenal does have Gyökeres from Sporting Club de Portugal, which does make sense. However, I am gonna go with. However, I think I'm gonna go with the newly world champions Chelsea, mainly because I think they're gonna make it a real tough time for Liverpool to maintain their title. And sorry for all the Man City fans out there, but I don't think Man City will be a high contender for the Premier League this year. I'm very sorry, but I think Man City doesn't. I mean, they do have some good signings, but I don't think they will have. I don't think they will win the Premier League this year. Moving over to the Champions League. And the Champions League could be real tough, because I think PSG is going to be the defending champions, which, by the way, they are stacked with a lot of young talents. And of course, maybe the future Ballon d'Or winner, Dembele. You also got Real Madrid, you got Arsenal. The qualifier round still have to happen, which, by the way, I'll show you which fighter got. Unfortunately, we were not blessed. We got screwed, and we got Fenerbahce, which means we have to face Mourinho again. Again. Yep. Well, color me freaking surprised. We're gonna face Mourinho again. And first, we're gonna play at home. As you can see, we play first home in our own turf, and a week later we're gonna face them in Istanbul, in maybe northern Istanbul. I don't know. And well, that's gonna be our shizzle. As you can see, well, we have faith in Fenerbahce, and I do not like them yet. As you can see, we lost Gent. We did draw against Union, but we did lose to Gent, which, by the way, we snatched one of their best defenders. Fenerbahce, on the other hand, lost only one game against Hayataspor, but they did win the rest against Porminense, Lyra, and Al Ittihad. Which, by the way, Al Ittihad, Benzema plays there, and he got screwed by Fenerbahce. And our results are not looking too bright against them. However, we did win twice against them. One time with Istanbul with 0-2, and one time with 1-0. However, Fenerbahce did get the last time, 2 times we faced against them, got the better of us. With both 1-0 victories. And that was a club friendly, by the way, 3-3. Just to confirm it, it was club friendly. Um, so I think the Champions League. I think it will be a new one. I think Napoli's gonna win it. I don't think Barca will win it. I don't think Real Madrid will win it. I don't think Liverpool will win it. I don't think even freaking Man City might reach the final, but I don't know. Inter's not gonna reach the final again because let's be honest, they sucked at the Club World Cup. They got defeated by who was it again? Fluminense. I think they got defeated by Fluminense, which, by the way, that's a shame if that happens to the Champions League finalists. So I don't think either of those were going to win it. I think either Napoli or Arsenal's going to win it. And that may sound a little weird saying Arsenal might win it, but I think the missing key they had was a striker. And now that they have, like, Gyökeres come in soon in their Arsenal, get it, Arsenal, whatever. I think they will have a high chance of winning the Champions League. I mean, they knocked out Real Madrid last time. I think it will not be a surprise if they do it again. And of course, I do think Napoli will win it. And so I think Napoli will win the Champions League. Europa League, that's a tough one actually, because you got like clubs that are there, but not the high priority. Like you got Roma, you got Porto. You got Nottingham Forest. Go Ahead Eagles, by the way. Maybe us if we got defeated. Because hear me out. If we get defeated by Fenerbahce, like I would not be too sad. Because we played the Europa League group phase, so we might lead the league phase of the Europa League, so we might win that thing. Who are going to be my favorites to win it? I think Porto, Feyenoord, if they get knocked out by Fenerbahce at some point in the Champions League qualification. Palace is also no way. Palace got demoted to the Conference League. That's right. Okay. Force is also a favorite to win it. I think. Villa, Lille, and some other clubs like I don't know. But I do think, however, the Europa League at the end of the day, I think the Europa League will belong to. I think it will belong to us, to Feyenoord. I think Feyenoord will win the Europa League. So it means you got yourself on the UEFA Super Cup the season after that. But we're going to talk about that in the future. I think you got yourself a Super Cup final between Feyenoord and Napoli in the season after next season. I think, but that really depends. Conference League, it's a tough one actually, because you got what do we got? I don't really know because the qualifications are still like an ongoing process. But I do know my number one favorite at the moment is going to be Crystal Palace, and I think they will win the Conference League with pretty much ease. Either they win the Conference League or I don't know. So yeah, I think Crystal Palace will win the Conference League. The Nation. No wait, Nations League is not gonna be a thing. League 1. That's gonna be a tough one actually, because the League 1. I think that will be a case for. I think most people were gonna say PSG, but I think you will. I think you would be very wrong, because I think AS Monaco will win it this time. Why? Paul Pogba, because they got Paul Pogba, Ansu Fati from Barca. Which, by the way, Pogba did get a suspension for cocaine use back in what year was that again? I don't know. They reduced his punishment to like half a year or something, and now he can play football again, which means it's great because Pogba is back, and I think AS Monaco with him in his arsenal, with Pogba in their barricades, like I think Monaco will win the League 1. I don't think PSG will stand a chance against Pogba, so I think AS Monaco will win the League 1. But that really depends if PSG will struggle in the League 1. Because I think they will struggle very big time. Because of the Club World Cup final they reached, which they got defeated by Chelsea. But y'all remember that. Serie A, that's going to be Italy. That's a tough one, actually, because Napoli are going to defend their title. Inter are not looking the brightest at the moment. Atalanta lost their mastermind behind the wheel. And Roma got the mastermind behind the wheel of Atalanta, but you'll get that later. That's a tough one, actually, but I think, and that's going to be a shocker to everybody, I think not Napoli, not Inter, not Roma, but I think AC Milan will win the Serie A. Why? Because they got rid of all their star players, and that coach is not doing too shabby. Sure, he lost a friendly yesterday against Arsenal, but that doesn't define the season yet. The real work starts when the season starts. And I think AC Milan will win the Serie A. Moving over to the Eredivisie. The Eredivisie. We call it in the Netherlands the Eredivisie. Um, that's going to be a tough one because, I mean, if you take a look at what the clubs are going to be, like, you got Telstar, you got, not that Telstar's a big club, but you understand what I'm getting. Ajax is gonna be is not gonna be. I do think they're not gonna be a real main threat because Heitinga is now the coach at Ajax, and trust me, I don't think he will perform that well with Ajax. The reason they got second last year was because they were hiding behind the shield of Farioli, and they did miss out on the championship, but like they're happy. Like okay, Champions League's back here in the Johan Cruyff Arena. Like yaki, schmacky. But I don't think they will this year. They will come far. I think, and hear me out. I think Feyenoord, my club, and that's not because I love Feyenoord. I'm a Feyenoord fan. But I think with all the strengths we got, like we got Watanabe, we got Luciano Valente, we got Sam Stein. There are gonna be like two more on the way. We got a striker from Benfica. We got a left back from KVC Westerlo. We got like 7 new signings. Okay, we may have lost our best defender, David Hansko, but at least he's going to Atletico Madrid. Like, do I think that will affect us this season? No. I think Feyenoord will win the Eredivisie, and I'm gonna say a little thing. If you do win the Europa League, if Feyenoord does win the Europa League and the Eredivisie, I think we're also gonna win the KNVB Cup. Like, we're gonna go for a treble this season, boys. Robin van Persie, I'm telling you, that man will put Feyenoord on the charts. We will sail for success. And I'm telling you, Feyenoord will win a treble. Europa League, Eredivisie, and the KNVB Cup. No one can stop us. Not even PSV, because let's be honest, PSV did lose some of their star players, like Noah Long, Malik Tillman, Luke de Jong is also going to depart for Al Ali, I think. And boy, that's going to be a huge blow for PSV, because they got 7 sides, but I don't think it will fit for PSV. And what the hell happened? What? Let me guess. Hazard scored? No. Troy Parrott scored. Wow, cool. What I think is that, I do think that the main troublemakers in the Eredivisie, it's going to be Ajax and PSV for sure. But I do think Utrecht and AZ Alkmaar will also make it difficult for us to become champions, because AZ does have a strong because it does have a young squad with bright young talents. Utrecht does have a good coach with Ron Jens, which, by the way, they play tonight at this moment of recording. They play tonight against FC Sheriff Tiraspol in the Europa League preliminary round. And, obviously, Utrecht they don't have a really good squad, but their coach is pretty good. So I do think Utrecht will finish, like, 4th or something, like 4th. So I think Feyenoord will win the Eredivisie easily, and the KNVB Cup. And then you got La Liga, and that's gonna be a real trouble, because that's gonna be a real tough one, because Real Madrid does have Trent and that guy from Benfica. Barca have just strengthened themselves with Marcus Rashford, which quote unquote is pretty good for them. Loaned, by the way, they're not probably gonna get to buy him. And Atletico, they're going to get David Hansko. So, who do I think is going to win the La Liga? I don't think it's going to be Real Madrid, because, let's be honest, Trent, I don't see him succeeding at Madrid, though. However, who I do think is going to win the La Liga is Atletico. Atletico de Madrid. I'm telling you, those guys will win the La Liga. They may not win the Copa de España, but they are going to win the La Liga. And they're going to make Barca and Real Madrid their life a living hell. Just sign it up. Atletico will win the La Liga. And then you got the World Cup in like summer, but I don't really care for that. I do think Argentina or Spain does have a high chance, but I don't really care for that. So I do think Spain is gonna win it. Again, no one cares though, but that's just me. Yeah, Belgium already talked about. Cyprus. Cyprus doesn't really matter. Denmark. Copenhagen probably. Copenhagen or uh, Midtjylland. Probably one of those. England, well, already know the FA Cup. I think it will probably go to another. I think it will not. I think it will be another new winner, and I think Fulham is gonna win it. Yeah, may sound shocking, but trust me, Fulham is gonna win it probably, or Forest. And then the Carabao Cup, or the quote unquote the Mickey Mouse Cup for people. I think Tottenham will win it. Okay, may sound weird, but trust me, you'll get it. And the UEFA Super Cup this year, I think it will go to. It's gonna be between PSG and Tottenham Hotspur, but I think PSG will struggle the most because they had a tough World Cup, which means they got a tough route to the final. Like they got into Miami, which they smashed 4-0. They got Bayern Munich. They got Real Madrid in the semifinals. And then you had freaking Chelsea, which, by the way, they lost 3-0. So I do think Tottenham Hotspur win the UEFA Super Cup. I'm not because I'm a Tottenham Hotspur fan, because I am not. I'm a Feyenoord fan for the 1000th time. But I do think PSG will struggle very big this season under Luis Enrique. Finland, probably going to be Helsinki again. Greece. I think Olympiacos again, dude. Like, Olympiacos, they are on fire. And they're going to play Champions League as well. So I think Olympiacos will win it again. Hungary that is not really irrelevant. Ireland, probably Shamrock Rovers. Iceland. Breidablik. I'm not going to talk about the other ones, especially not Israel. Trust me, I have my reasons, but I don't want to say it on the video because, like, I'm gonna get bashed for many reasons. So I'm not gonna talk about Israel. No. Italy already talked about. Croatia probably gonna be Dynamo Zagreb or Hajduk Split. Depends though. I don't really think there are much leagues which I can talk about. Actually, there are not much leagues I can talk about. New Zealand probably gonna be Melbourne Victory again. Norway, Bodo Glimt. I have to go with Bodo Glimt on this front. Ukraine, Dynamo Kiev. I have to go with Kiev. on this one. And Austria, Red Bull Salzburg. I think they will have a good season. Palestina is also going to be there. Portugal. I think Benfica will win it. I think Benfica, or it will be a two battle between Porto and Benfica. Because let's be honest, since Sporting lost Gyökeres, I don't think they will have a good season again. I think they will not win a league title again. So I do think Benfica or Porto will go with league. And as for Poland, Young Lithuania probably, but that really depends. Russia, I'm probably gonna get cancelled for this, but I think St. Petersburg will win it. Okay, that's just my opinion, so nobody take a look. Saudi, Al Nassr. I don't think Al Hilal will have a good season again. Scotland, Celtic all the way. I hate Rangers. I think Celtic will win it. Serbia, probably Restore Belgrade. Slovakia, it's probably gonna be Sparta Prague. I don't think Slavia Prague will get it again. I do think Sparta Prague with Priska being back there, I think they will win it again. Yay. Czechia? What do we, I don't know. Turkey. Probably Galatasaray or Fenerbahce might win it, but I don't think Mourinho will get along very well with the Turkish media again. So I do think Galatasaray will win the Turkish league. USA, so probably the MLS. I think probably Messi will win it again. Probably with Inter Miami again. Sweden, Malmo. I don't think if they're. I don't know if they're like top at the league at top of the league table. I do think Malmo will win it still. Switzerland, Young Boys all the way. Young Boys, dude. And is that all? Because yeah, that's all. How we're doing on the AZ game, and it's not going to be any better from this point. Great. So if you want a confirmation, there it is. Utrecht will face against FC Sheriff Tiraspol. There's just going to be their lineups. I don't really care. And as for Azit, I'm going to check on them now. And Sparta Prague 0-0. Eris, Ilves, AZ 1-1. Parrot and Risigiru. And yikes. Okay, well, AZ is trailing behind at this point. And you got the others, but really, no one really cares because actually, I don't really care for that. So, and if you want to know, yes, Feyenoord will play some more friendlies. If you want confirmation, well, you're gonna get it. Feyenoord will play against Nice in the as friendly match. We're gonna play against Nice, and the same day we're gonna play against an Austrian side called FC Liefering. I don't know how to say that. Did we face against them? No, we did not. So that's still going to be something. And Nice, did we face against them before? Nope. And then we face against Valderville Wolfsburg. Because that's going to be 2nd of August. Which I'm going to be there, by the way. I'm going to be there in the Kuip against Valderville Wolfsburg. And then a couple days later, we're going to face Fenerbahce, which I already showed you. Then we're going to face NOC. And then we're going to face Fenerbahce away. And then after that, oh god, Excelsior Rotterdam away. And if you take a look at their schedule, like our first 5 games, like we're not going to leave Rotterdam anytime soon. Like we're going to face against NOC, we're going to face against Excelsior, then we're going to face Sparta, both against them in Rotterdam. What? Let me guess, Ilva scored. Oh wow, Sparta Prague trails behind. Wow. Heerenveen. And then we're going to face, and then we're going to go a little bit away against, we're going to give way against AZ, Fortuna, Groningen, Utrecht home, Heracles away. PSV home, which is going to be a fire game because we will see who has the better selection. Volendam home, Go Ahead Eagles away, NAC home, Telstar away, which, by the way, did we face them once? I don't think we did. No, for certainly we did not. So, Telstar away is going to be fun. Pexvolle home, Ajax away, yikes. Twente home, Heerenveen away, started after the winter break. We're going to face Heerenveen away, which I really want to get my revenge on these guys. Like, I really want to get my revenge on them. I really want to get my revenge on Heerenveen, dude. Like, they got lucky. They got very lucky they won. Otherwise, if there was something at stake, we would have won that match. Period. We're going to face Sparta home, Heracles away, home. Again, and then PSV away, which we're going to see. It's probably going to be the title decider. Utrecht away, Go Ahead home, Telstar home, and Twente away. Which means we're going to have some fun. How we're doing still on the match of AZ Alkmaar, we're not going to be very sure yet. Still 1-1, by the way. Still 1-1. Yikes. So, yeah, okay. But that's going to do it for this episode of a prediction for football. May all the clubs who are watching this, good luck to your season. And, of course, I'm going to see you all probably Monday for the not the Champions League. The trailer reaction for the double mythic banner. Anyway, peace.